brother copied every purchase I made for years, so I let him copy something that ended up destroying his life. My younger brother copied everything I bought. And I mean everything. If I bought a used car, he'd finance a brand new luxury SUV. If I upgraded my phone, he'd show up with the newest model before I even finished paying mine off. When I bought my first condo after years of saving, he purchased a penthouse twice the price. Nobody ever asked how he afforded it. They just assumed he was more successful. At every family dinner, he'd somehow turn my accomplishments into his own. Emily bought a nice watch? He'd smile. I figured I'd buy one that actually holds its value. When I announced my promotion, he conveniently revealed he'd accepted a higher paying position. My parents loved comparing us. Your brother just thinks bigger. Those words followed me for years. What nobody knew was that he was buried in debt, credit cards, personal loans, leased cars. He wasn't wealthier, he was just louder. Still, every time I bought something, he had to buy the better version. Then came the final straw. After 3 years together, my boyfriend proposed. Nothing flashy, just a beautiful ring we could comfortably afford. I couldn't have been happier. 2 weeks later, my brother proposed to his girlfriend with a ring, so massive people kept asking if it was real. He booked the same photographer we'd hired, the same venue we'd toured, even scheduled their wedding a month before ours. During the reception, he actually toasted everyone by saying, "It's nice being the sibling people look up to." I smiled. But inside, I was done. A few months later, something unexpected happened. My husband and I decided to become foster parents. It wasn't a decision we made overnight. There were interviews, training, home inspections, months of paperwork. Eventually, we were approved. When my brother heard the news, he immediately started talking about fostering too. I wasn't surprised. At the next family dinner, he announced, "If Emily can do it, so can we." Everyone applauded. My parents looked proud. I looked at my husband. He quietly squeezed my hand. Because unlike houses, or cars, or vacations, this wasn't something you copied for attention. Over the next few months, my brother posted nonstop online. Pictures of parenting books, photos outside foster care orientation, captions about changing children's lives. People called them inspirational. Meanwhile, we welcomed an 8-year-old girl named Sophie into our home. She'd been through more than most adults. The first few weeks were difficult. Nightmares, trust issues, hours of quiet conversations. But slowly, she started smiling again. One evening, my brother called. He sounded exhausted. "This kid doesn't listen." I frowned. "What do you mean?" I thought she'd be grateful. I didn't even know how to answer that. A week later, he called again. "I can't do this anymore." Apparently, he expected instant love, instant gratitude, instant compliments online. Instead, he discovered that parenting, especially foster parenting, meant patience, sacrifice, and putting someone else's needs before your own. Things he'd never practiced. Then everything unraveled. He missed required meetings, ignored guidance from social workers, complained constantly that the child was too difficult. Within 6 months, the placement ended. His wife was devastated. She genuinely wanted to help. He'd only wanted to compete. The stress destroyed their marriage. She moved out. Not long afterward, she filed for divorce. At the next family gathering, nobody compared us anymore. Nobody asked who had the nicer house, or the better car, or the bigger paycheck. Instead, my dad quietly watched Sophie helping my mom bake cookies. Then he looked at my brother sitting alone on the porch. Finally, he asked, "Why does everything always become a competition with you?" For the first time in his life, my brother didn't have an answer. As everyone was leaving, he stopped beside me. "You knew I was going to copy you." "I did. You set me up." I shook my head. "No, I gave you exactly the same opportunity I gave myself. The difference," I looked toward Sophie laughing inside the house, "was that I wanted a family. You wanted another trophy." He didn't say another word. That was 5 years ago. Today, Sophie still calls me mom. My brother still insists I ruined his life. But the truth is, I never destroyed it. I simply stopped buying things that could be measured with money, and he had no idea how to compete with that.